Shalom and good day all, this is Tehillim29 back again for graphic novels I've recently read through. And as you can see here, there's probably under, I think, 20 here overall. So moving into the first one, so we've got the Robin series, which is done by Joshua Williamson, to which he writes him a little bit more like Timian Wayne, or Tim Drake more than Damian Wayne, and to which many supposedly love. Also, there are some things that it's still not addressed, even in the graphic novel, in relation to Lazarus Island, to which Damien, especially with the character of Dead Man, when he makes his appearance in the story, as to how Lazarus Island might actually affect him or his body. Like, does it take away his immortality or not? Because of the rules of the island. And even after the defeat of the demon, like, does that still change the rules of the island, or have the rules then changed after the defeat of the demon that plays a part on the island? It's not really clear on it, even though it should be. So for my overall rating for it is a 6.5 out of 10. Only because of that, I think he could have done a better job in executing the story better, and also making Damien more like Damien instead of writing him as Tim Drake. Even in appearance, and also with that dumb belt buckle, which has a D on it, which practically exposes who he is to the world. Next is Spider-Boy, for which this was, I think this story had some fun moments with the character, but it also had some interesting upcoming moments. For it, I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10, so basically the same as Robin. It might change after the next volume. Now into something a little bit more older, but actually somewhat fun to read through, and that is the Batman Beyond 2.0, to which I've only got 2 volumes there. One is the first volume, and the other one there is the 3rd volume. I still need to find like other graphic novels connected to this particular series. I quite enjoyed it for what it was. It was nice following Terry McGinnis and whoever else is in the story. For that, I give a 7 out of 10. Next is Blue Scarab, Graduation Day. I stick to what I originally rated this when I was doing the single issues, but the overall, I think I will give it a 7 out of 10. Next, we move into Eden Frost. This is actually one quite interesting series. Yes, it deals with communism, plus other little things that take place in the story. And it also follows 2 Jewish siblings, to which they have control, or have a control over, like, certain golems. One is almost like a fire type golem, and the other one's almost like an earth to ice type golem. For this, it's a 7.5 out of 10 from me. Next is The Miracle Man, Silver Age, written by Neil Gaiman. Really enjoyed reading this series. Definitely worth checking out. 7.5 out of 10 from me. Next is The Unexpected, which links to the DC New Age of Heroes, which came out of the DC Metal. And it was interesting to reread through this again, because I only followed like the first few issues and it lost my interest. But reading through the rest of what is here, I'm giving it a 6.5 out of 10. Now, this I am going to have to thank like some of the people who were reviewing Damage at the time on their channel. Ashon Comics being one. This is written by Robert Venditti. It's a really good story. You get to follow the character of Damage. You also learn a little bit about him, his past, and also what led to him to becoming Damage. It doesn't neglect the importance of like the Dark Knight's metal scenario, which was really fun. It was really important to see that brought into the story, because that is where this story stemmed from, and also how it connects to like certain characters within the universe, and also his encounter with villains plus heroes. For this, I will give an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. If anything, I think it's as fun as the Hawkman run that Venditti did. Next is The Curse of Brimstone. Well, to those who don't know, there is actually another like Brimstone in the DC universe, but this one is in relation to a bit of a curse of sorts, which comes out of course, Dark Knight Metal, New Age of Heroes once again. This is one series that I fell off quite early because it would not address its connection to the Dark Knight's Metal event. If anything, whilst reading through these, it did bring it in a little bit later on, but by the time it did bring it in, I'd already dropped the series. But once sort of like reading through the rest of the stories that were provided for this character, I actually quite enjoyed it. So for this, for the first volume, I'll give a 6.5 out of 10. For the second volume, I will give a 7 out of 10. Next is a series that I absolutely enjoyed, and this was The Terrifics. I enjoyed the writer on it, I enjoyed the art and the stories in it, and also the characters we met too. For all three of them, I give a 7.5 out of 10. Until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.